The Fifth Assembly of the Nigerian Youth Parliament seems to be a success, having produced notable diminutive legislators focused on growth and development of youths across subnationals of the Federation of Nigeria. One of such is the immediate past Deputy Majority Leader of the Parliament, Honorable Sheriff Elijah Waziri from Adamawa Central Senatorial District. It's another episode of the program, Young Parliamentarians. Our guest will be unveiled after this break. I'm the host, Joshua Oguchide. Don't go away. Welcome back. As earlier stated, our guest on this episode is the immediate past Deputy Majority Leader of the 5th session of the Nigerian Youth Parliament. You're welcome to the program, Honorable Waziri.
Thank you, Joshua.
We learned your nomination came from Governor Amadu Umaru Fintiri, Governor of Adamawa State. Can you shed more light, on the interest?
Well, the Nigerian Youth Parliament is a creation of the National Assembly, which was graciously established by the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. May God rest his soul. But the administrative aspect of the Parliament is handled by the Federal Ministry of Youth Development. So the minister sends invitation for nomination to the governor, and the governor of the state concerned is obliged to look at youths who is eligible, who meets the criteria to represent the constituency at the Parliament. I must express sincere appreciation to His Excellency, the fresh air Governor of Adamawa State, His Excellency Governor Amadu Umaru Fintiri, for finding me fit to represent the Adamawa Senatorial youths of Adamawa Senatorial Zone at the Nigerian Youth Parliament. So as the Governor chooses me together with two other youths to represent the state at the 5th session of the Nigerian Youth Parliament. That was how I became a member of the Nigerian Parliament and subsequently served as the Deputy Majority Leader of the session. Thank you.
Honorable Waziri, still talking about your emergence as the member representing Adamawa Central Senatorial District. You must have been mentored by some prominent Nigerians aside Governor Fintiri. So I don't believe it is only Governor Fintiri that would have been maybe your political godfather or your mentor, a role model.
Well, as a young man growing up, I've always had interest in politics, and I've always had interest in especially the legislative arm of government, to be precise. So I've looked up to quite a lot of parliamentarians, legislators who have gone through the Nigerian National Assembly, people like Senator, the late diminutive Senator Chuba Akadibo, and who has been a very prominent and vocal voice during his stint at the National Assembly. We have learned a lot from them. But in recent times, and since our return to democracy, I will single out my mentor, who is the current Speaker of the Adamawa State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Baltia Wesley. He has done well. He has achieved so much under his tenure, and he has picked some of us to be under his wings and have trained us on the legislative advocacy. And I must also say that I look up to the current Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. He's been a very, in fact, let me say without any iota of doubt or contradiction, or fear of contradiction, that he's been the best speaker in the history of the Federal House of Representatives since our return to democracy.
What makes you come up with such conclusion?
Well, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas has his emergence. The intricacies that surround his emergence, especially the hot contest between him and those that contested the position of the speakership. Many felt he's an unassuming person, very humble, and he's not this larger-than-life personality. But since he's assumed leadership, he has demonstrated excellent capacity to lead, especially in the primary duty of lawmaking. The Nigerian Education Law Reform was passed under his regime, which has a very significant impact with the Nigerian youths who are in school, because it has given opportunity to many youths who wouldn't have been able to complete their studies or even enroll in the tertiary institutions. And you know what it means when we have educated youths. You understand? And apart from that, you can see how the House has been carrying on under his regime. They have bring out impactful laws, impactful policies, and in terms of oversight, you've seen how they've been able to hold MDS of government very, very accountable, especially in the areas of budget performance and budget defense. And it may interest you to know that this is the first time that the Speaker of the House of Representatives is sitting with young people across Nigeria to discuss issues affecting young people. In fact, we had a town hall meeting to discuss the End Bad Governance protest, and our engagement has contributed significantly to dousing tension and returning youths back to their homes and off the street.
Let me come in. Let me come in there. I was at that same town hall meeting.
Okay. That's
some
good.
Nigerians, or will I say some quarters, believe the town hall meeting was convened simply because of the End Bad Governance protest that wanted to take place the following day. That was why, the leadership of the National Assembly and some other stakeholders thought, that they should have a town hall meeting, an engagement with youth, groups, across the country. Your take on this?
People may have various interpretations on why such meetings are being convened, especially at the height of unrest, such as the End Bad Governance protest. But I want you to understand that an engagement is better than no engagement at all. It doesn't matter whether the engagement was held at the eve of the protest, on the eve of the protest, or long before the protest. The Speaker has engaged with young people on informal settings and formal settings through various representatives. That was just the culmination of the engagement, bringing all the youth stakeholders together to now conclude and end this issue of bad governance. He collected the demands of young people. We presented to him, and youths were allowed to speak freely. In fact, some of the youth spoke seriously, even against the sitting government, and there was no intimidation whatsoever. So I think the Speaker deserves commendation for taking that burden.
Okay, let me digress a little bit. How far about, what have you, any information, any news concerning your recommendations? Has any step been taken?
I will first start with fulfillment of the promise of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. At the meeting, a lot of youth advocate that issues that affect youth should be tabled before young people, before such decisions were taken. So basically, it was about being on the table, participating in decision-making on issues that affect young people. And the Speaker, in his magnanimity, said, okay, for this purpose, I'm going to give you opportunity to bring 8 young people from across this country, from different constituencies, different youth organizations, so that you work with me directly and make sure that issues that affect you were tabled before me. And he fulfilled that promise. As I'm talking today, 8 young people have been engaged as special assistants to the Speaker of the Right Honorable House of Representatives. This is the first time this is happening in this country. It's unprecedented. And apart from that, most of the challenges, policy challenges that have been discussed by young people, some of these things were put in the budget, especially on the funding youth programs, issues that affect unemployment, issues that affect funding for startups. And I assure you that even during the budget presentation, young people were invited again for a town hall meeting where we made presentations and we made inputs on the budget, and we are even nominated to be part of budget committees, various committees of the House of Representatives. Youths have been nominated to participate during budget defense and the budget presentation by various MDS, so that we'll make sure that those inputs, those suggestions that we made were carried, were taken into consideration, and make sure that they emerge in the budget that will be signed by His
part of the
Excellency
oversight
the President.
function.
Yeah.
Okay, your father emerged deputy majority leader, as you've already mentioned.
Yeah.
Emerged deputy majority leader of the 5th Assembly. I believe this is not unconnected with your pedigree. Youth Matters. Can you speak to that?
Well, I was not surprised. I must be gracious to my speaker, Right Honorable Aziza Dushau, the first female speaker of the Nigerian Youth Parliament, who has found me worthy to serve in that capacity, and also my colleagues from the Northeast region for saying that I should lead the zone, and for my colleagues in the Parliament generally for finding me worthy of such a position. I must say that fate has placed leadership responsibilities on me right from childhood, and with all sense of modesty, I've been opportune to hold leadership positions, even in Students' Union, where I served as treasurer, student union government, and subsequently vice president, and even president of the State Association of Adamawa State Students, and many bodies. And in politics, I was opportune to serve even with my governor. I was senior special assistant on rural reconstruction, rehabilitation, and the rest. And presently, I was reappointed to serve as special assistant to His Excellency on peace and security. So it's
under the same administration.
Yeah. So it's not surprising that I find myself in the leadership positions. My motivation is always give out my best, especially in the service of my country, wherever I find myself. Because we don't have any other country apart from Nigeria. So young people, we have to contribute our quota to make sure our country became
lucky you, Honorable Waziri. Lucky you, I must say. What makes the leadership of the 5th Nigerian Youth Parliament spectacular? You know, the 5th Assembly has produced people like you, diminutive, lawmakers like you that have made impact in the society. At least you belong to the caucus of the majority. So what do you have to say about this?
Well, it boils down to leadership of the Speaker of the Nigerian Parliament. She's a very consultative leader, carrying everybody along, and that has contributed immensely to the success of the 5th session of the Nigerian Parliament. Without any fear of contradiction, I must say, so far the 5th session has been the best in the history of the Nigerian Parliament. Past recommendations, bills, motions that have been adopted by the House of Representatives, and there have been, some of them have been passed into law, some of them are various stages of being passed into law by the National Assembly. And I must tell you that this is the first time that the Speaker is conducting town hall meeting across the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT, in the states, not in FCT or in this. All parliamentarians went back to their constituencies, and we engaged young people from across the states and our senatorial zones, came together, discussed youth issues as it affects them, and bring out recommendations. Then we now came to the national at the level of the Parliament and deliberated on this and submitted recommendations to the Minister of Youth and to Speaker of the House of Representatives. And actions have been taken to address these challenges. So I must say that Honorable Aziza Dushau and management, which I'm fortunate to be part of as a Deputy Majority Leader, have been able to achieve the success we have achieved because of wide consultation and making sure that we carry the interests of Nigerians youth at heart. I think that was the major reason why we succeeded.
Thank you very much for that. Now to the next question. To what extent did your collaboration with other arms of government, NGOs, and the Children Parliament manifest in the reorientation of Nigerian youths? Your capacity being a deputy majority leader, I believe, shouldn't be limited to advocacy for Adamawa Central Youth, but somewhat the entirety of young minds like yours across board.
Well, I must first tell you that once you are elected or appointed into the Nigerian Parliament, you are there to represent your constituency, but you are no longer strictly there for your constituency. You are there for
when you are being elected as a principal.
Yeah, you are there for all Nigerian youths. So whatever you are going to canvass must be issues that affect young people across the country. So we've been able to collaborate with organizations such as the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, National Youth Council of Nigeria, and other youth organizations, such as the Young Federation of Young Farmers of Nigeria, of course, which I'm coincidentally the national president, and a lot of NGOs, such as the Brain Builders, MacArthur Foundation, European Union, a lot of organizations we've collaborated to advance issues that affect young people, gender issues, drug abuse, and voter apathy. We've done a lot in that area, especially during the 2023 general election. We went to our various constituencies and engaged young people and talked to them about non-violent elections. And you can see that we recorded very little violence incidents in the general elections that just passed and produced the current set of political leaders of our country. So our engagement and collaboration have yielded a lot of positive impact, I believe.
Thanks so much for your time. Time now to go for another break. We shall continue with the conversation shortly. Do stay with us.
When you take a tour to Africa, there is something you want to feel. There is something you like to see. The sunshine, a fertile land. Something you want to invest in, something you like to gain. Profit only in a place you can achieve your goals. Share the treasure of a good nation.
In case you're just joining us, the program you're watching is Young Parliamentarians, showing on NT Parliament. You can as well join the conversation via the social media platforms scrolling on the screen. I've been speaking with the immediate past member representing Adamawa Central in the Nigerian Youth Parliament, also the Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Elijah Waziri. Honorable, let's now move into interest of youth in your constituency. We are coming to the grassroots now. The main purpose of going into the 5th session of the Nigerian Youth Parliament. How well have you represented Adamawa Central Youth in the 5th Assembly?
Well, when you are saddled with such a great responsibility, the best you can do is to make sure that every action, every decision, everything that you've done there reflects the aspirations of young people in your constituency. Like having been from the Northeast, you know our history with insurgency and issues of Boko Haram. We have a lot of young people that were displaced, especially some have dropped out of school, and some have suffered loss of their breadwinners. So a lot of these issues that are social and economic have affected our young people. And when I came, I felt, okay, this is a platform where I can advance on and solicit for support from government to help look at the predicament of most young people in my constituency. And to the glory of God, we've been able to lobby the government, both at state level, especially at state level. I must commend His Excellency, the Governor of Adamawa State, Governor Ahmadu Fintiri, for giving us listening ear. We approached the government for support, and the government have done well in reintegrating youth back to their societies, back to their communities. And through our effort, a lot of young people that have dropped out of school have returned back to schools. And some of the effort of our advocacy and engagement with authorities in government have yielded results by way of making sure that youths were given platform to acquire skills that will give them, that will make them self-employed. And our basic concern has been to ensure, since we have vast agricultural land, fertile, we ensure that a lot of support has been channeled towards agricultural engagement, so that our young people will have opportunity to remain at their communities and go back to farm. And we've engaged, we call on government to support our security agencies to make sure that, of course, the primary responsibility of government is security and welfare of the people. And to a large extent, this has been achieved. We have advocated for that, and to a large extent, I must say, the security issue, especially in Adamawa State, has been highly improved. That we record very minimal, if there is very minimal issues of insecurity, especially these areas that were harder to displace and attacked by insurgents. So our effort has been in that area, and there are areas of improvement, I believe, to be more collaboration, and we'll continue to put in our best, and even when we leave the parliament, we'll continue to put effort and energy to make sure that issues that affect young people are...
Especially in your present capacity
yes.
as the SSA.
Yeah. I am SA to His Excellency on
security.
On security. Mm-hmm. And you know, as we said, security is everybody's concern. Where there is no security, you can't engage in economic or any... And
judging from your experience,
productive activity.
From the zone that you came from. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you are from the Northeast, you may be concerned about security. You know, the devastation that insecurity has caused the Northeast is unquantifiable, seriously. And that's why we always tell young people, avoid any issues that will lead to insecurity. Because the repercussions will take decades to remedy, seriously. The Northeast is just recovering, and we hope that a lot of more effort will be given, especially in budget allocation to states in the Northeast and agencies such as the Northeast Development Commission, the Lake Chad Basin Development Authority, the River Benue Development Authority, to support young people in agriculture and also reconstruction, rebuilding, and rehabilitation of the region in general.
Wow.
I think.
Wonderful. I was engaging some of your fellow parliamentarians some time ago, and I got to know about their interactions with their constituents, especially their town hall meetings. As Adamawa youth, not only those from your central, district, have they benefited from this in thousands?
Well, when we called when we invite young people for the town hall meetings that we held, I made sure that I hold the town hall meeting in a central location, and made some provisions for support for young people to attend. And I can assure you that we invite youth organizations, religious, occupational organizations, trade, craft, and even artisans, and a lot of from diverse backgrounds. We invited young people to the town hall meeting so that we can have a holistic input from youths, not only in our country, because as you know, what affects maybe our local governments are contagious and our communities are integrated. So our issues are multifaceted, but they affect almost all of us. So we have to reach out to a lot of people across the state, young people in particular, and we've been able to carry everybody along, I must say.
Okay.
Posterity will judge our performance.
A quick one.
I must say.
As a representation, this one is like a double-edged sword. Mm-hmm. Has a representation ever caused you any form of concern or wishes regarding young generation matters?
Yeah, I must say, when you are in certain positions, you will be exposed to a lot of privileged information and knowledge that previously, maybe when you are not exposed to that kind of position, you may not know. I must tell you that some of our youths, especially when they come out to protest against government actions, to protest against what government policies, most of us sometimes we do that from position of ignorance. But when you come close, you see the reason why government takes certain policies. You begin to appreciate the sacrifices. For example, a lot of people criticize policies of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu when it comes to subsidy removal and the other economic policies. But I must tell you that this, I assure you that it's in the best interest of the country. Some cabals hold the country to ransom using all the subsidy, they're collecting monies for subsidies that are being siphoned and what have you. Mm-hmm. And the economy, the president inherited a failing economy. He has to take certain tough decisions that will restore the health of the economy, and that involves subsidy removal. But the government have also gone further to provide incentives such as CNG buses And I've given money to state governors. The governors have not come out to deny it. The federal government have supported governors with funding to cushion the effects of this subsidy removal. I think people should continue to hold the representatives at the local level accountable for some of these challenges that people face. But I must assure you that so it caused me concern when I see young people take certain actions that are inimical to the progress of our country. I think we must continue to demonstrate more patriotism to Nigeria.
One more thing, a quick one, what are your plans for Nigerian youth in case you find yourself in a higher political office? You are in the SSC now. We don't know, maybe in the next 4 or 5 years you'll be contesting to be a governor or a member of the House of Representatives or a senator. That's a quick one.
Well, I must tell you that every single day I wake up, I want to be able to see how we can impact our generation to make sure that we make this country better. And how do we do that? We have to promote education. We can't do that without education. But sincerely speaking, I want to be able to see policies that that provide functional education. There are certain courses in our high institutions of learning that are obsolete, that will not lead to gainful employment or even contribute to the 21st century global directions. So I think education should be priority, but not only functional education that will provide our youths with enabling skills and knowledge to be participants and players in the global industry.
Thank you very much, Honorable Waziri, for your time. I think I will take you on that next time you're privileged to have you as our guest.
Thank you for having me. You were talking about political aspirations and what have you. We are young, we are politicians. We are already politicians.
I promise I will take you on that education next time.
We look forward to that opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for finding your time to feature on the program, Honorable Waziri, once again. Well, this is where we call it a day on the program for this week. Join us next time for another interesting episode. We sincerely look forward to receiving your comments and observations on the social media platforms scrolling on your screen. They're very important to us. See you next time on the same channel. Once again, I'm Joshua Waziri. Bye for now.